Okay, we're live. Russell.
Good evening. This is the Yuma County Redistricting Advisory Commission. It is 5 p.m. This meeting is called to order. If you could please all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Pam Walsman will lead us today. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Just some announcements. If you are parked in the rear employee gated parking lot, please move your vehicle to the front north parking lot to avoid having your vehicle locked in. Please sign in on the sign-in sheet at the table by the rear door. Please fill out a speaker card at the table by the rear door if you wish to address the commission. Give the card to the staff. Please speak at the podium. State your name and address for the record before speaking. Please address the chair, not the audience or staff, when speaking at the podium. If you have handouts to give to the commission, please give them to the staff to distribute. If you show information on the overhead projector, please give printouts to staff to become part of the permanent record. Restrooms and drinking fountains are down the hall behind this meeting room. Feel free to use the facilities as needed. Please, no food or beverage other than water in the meeting room. Thank you. Please perform a roll call attendance.
Commissioner Blitz.
Here.
Commissioner Duarte.
Here.
Commissioner Garcia.
Present.
Commissioner Gill. Did she call in?
She wasn't
She's unable
able
to.
to.
Okay. Commissioner Hernandez.
Here.
Commissioner McLeod.
Here.
Commissioner Meister.
Here.
Commissioner Nichols. Thank you. Commissioner Quiroz. Commissioner Tucker. Commissioner Walsma. Commissioner Zendejas. And Commissioner Zermeno.
Present. Thank you. At this time, I am going to open the meeting for call to the public. The call to the public is open during the entirety of the Redistricting Advisory Commission meeting. Any members of the public who wish to speak to topics that are specifically identified on the agenda may step forward. I do note for the record that I do not see any members of the public. Next, we have an action to adopt the minutes of the November 22nd, 2021 Commission meeting. Has everyone had an opportunity to review those minutes?
I'll move. We adopt the minutes.
Second.
Any discussion regarding the November 22nd, 2021 minutes? All in favor? Do we want to take a roll?
We can do voice vote if you want.
Okay.
A voice vote for this one? So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Agenda item number 4, a presentation of community feedback from public hearings.
Good evening, Chair Zermano,
commissioners. Tiffany Anderson, Election Director for Yuma County. I'm going to give you just a very brief summary of the community feedback. We conducted 5 Zoom public outreach meetings the week of January 10th through the 13th. We did have 5 members of the community join us amongst those 5 meetings, as well as many of our commissioners. Commissioner Tucker, I think, was at every single one except maybe one she missed. So we got to spend quite a bit of time before members of the public came into the meeting. Ashley Harrington, who is the Chief of Staff for the President at AWC Community College, was present at one of those meetings. She expressed that the college is very pleased with how well the outreach of the commission has been and how open we've been to public feedback and participation. And then unfortunately, a second meeting, we had an incident where we were Zoom bombed and had to shut it down quickly, but that was after the community had the opportunity to start sharing their feedback, and there was none at that meeting. On Wednesday, January 19th, we presented to the Board of Supervisors, also opened it up to the public for feedback and for Board of Supervisors feedback. No members of the public attended that meeting, and the supervisors seemed very pleased with the commission's work so far. The only feedback that we need to share is that Chairman Reyes said, it's exactly what they expected. There weren't a lot of changes. They like how compact the new districts are. And that he did mention he has a preference for what we called the Gadsden Plus map, where we are swapping out Orange Grove to be in alignment with Somerton rather than District 4 down in San Luis. Other than that, I'm available for questions, but that is the only public feedback that I have to share with you this evening.
Any questions, commissioners? Comments? Nancy, did you have any questions or comments regarding the feedback?
I think Tiffany summarized it well.
Okay, thank you.
Tiffany, the reason I didn't attend that because I was down. Then right after I got sick and getting better, my wife came down with the same thing. So
It's completely understandable.
didn't call. I apologize. Just I wasn't feeling it.
Thank you, Commissioner. I appreciate that. And I didn't want to fail to mention that Chair Zermano, as well as Commissioner McLeod, joined me at the Board of Supervisors meeting last week. So that is much appreciated that they went to represent the commission with the Board of Supervisors. Thank you.
Item number 4, Yuma County Community College District Draft Map. Discussion and possible action to recommend a final map to Board of Supervisors for approval.
Chair Zermano, could I just, for the record, note that that's item 5?
I apologize. Item 5.
Go ahead, Doug.
Good afternoon. Again, I'm Doug Johnson from National Demographics. Good to be with you again. Mainly here to answer any questions you might have as you consider this and the next item. But just as a reminder, the community college trustee areas are very close to balanced. 3 actually is balanced almost perfectly. And so the proposed change that you're looking at here is just one whole precinct moving from Area 4 to Area 5. It balances the populations, actually makes both trustee areas more compact, and would simply move that precinct that's on the north side of trustee Area 5 and kind of the end of the Area 4 wraparound north of Yuma would go into 5. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them, but you've seen this map before, so happy to answer anything, and otherwise it's just for your action.
Just for the record, if you don't mind, explain it one more time, please. And it was explained to me today. Tiffany was very gracious and gave me the information. The reason for that little finger thing.
Yeah,
Okay?
so,
Just so that everybody's clear on it, because I suspect there may be a comment about that, that's all.
yeah, it definitely is unusual looking, the way that the piece of Area 3 comes down on the east side of Area 5. That is, I believe, following the canal there, or the river. There's a water feature there of some kind.
Mhm.
So even though it looks funny, if you're there, it's very clear which side of the border you're on and which trustee area you're on. And essentially, it was balancing populations back then, I believe, back when this was adopted. So that finger exists in the current map. So we're simply leaving it there because Area 3 is population balanced. And one of the traditional considerations is leaving trustee areas or election districts intact so that folks that have gotten involved and knocked on doors in past campaigns can continue to knock on the same doors and work with the same neighbors again. If you don't have to make a change, generally considered not to. It is a little funny looking without a doubt, but it is a very clearly defined geographic boundary on each side. So that's why we didn't change it.
And Doug, if I could on that one, I recall from past meetings that you noted that that was a census block, so that we did want to keep that odd shape wasn't something that you created. It was something that was created by the U.S. Census Bureau.
True, yes. So we are getting the official data for that finger area.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions?
Madam Chair? If there are none, I would move we accept the map as presented.
I'll second.
Can we please have a roll call vote?
Commissioner Blitz,
Aye.
Commissioner Duarte,
Aye.
Commissioner Garcia,
Aye.
Mr. Gill is excused.
Christy,
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry. With legal recommendation is that we clarify the motion because it is not acceptance of the map. It's actually a vote to recommend this map to the Board of Supervisors for adoption.
I'll amend my motion to reflect that.
Thank you, Commissioner McLeod.
Making that motion change. Commissioner Gill is excused. Continuing with the roll call vote. Commissioner Hernandez,
Aye.
Commissioner McLeod,
Aye.
Commissioner Meister, Commissioner Nichols is excused. Commissioner Tucker, Commissioner Walsma, Commissioner Zendejas, Commissioner Quiros is excused, and Commissioner Zermano. The motion carried with a quorum vote.
Recommend approval of this map.
Correct.
Item number 6. The County Board of Supervisors District Draft Maps. Discussion and possible action to recommend a final map to Board of Supervisors for approval.
Members of the Commission, this map has taken considerably more work, and as you may remember, you've gone through a whole bunch of various maps submissions because the existing map was much more out of balance than the college districts were. The Commission, through its process, has narrowed the options down really to two very similar maps, both of which are, as was mentioned earlier, much more compact. They are population balanced. I think compared to the existing map, they're much more community oriented. And just being compact, you can see Area 5 kind of shifts north so that it goes up to the county border instead of having areas 1 and 4 wrap around it. So that makes a lot more sense. Area 1 picks up all that western, west of Yuma territory that used to be divided between 5 and 1 and 4. And 1 still remains a Somerton-focused seat, although it has a lot of Yuma as well. 4 now becomes just a San Luis and its environs district. And then 2 and 3 change very little. You can see that the blue dashed lines on the eastern edge of 2 where there's been some population shifting just to make some very small changes that we need in those 2 districts. The place where these maps differ, as you may recall, is the one we're looking at here is the Gadsden Trade, where Somerton and Area 1 picks up just the area within the Somerton U over on the east end of Somerton. And then the other map, the Gadsden Plus, includes that U, but then also adds in the neighborhood around the elementary school there. So that's the only change. The area around the elementary school was not enough people that it required population balancing. So we simply moved that area into 1, and nothing had to go out of 1 to balance that. So happy to answer any questions you have about this map as well, but it is unchanged from the last time you met and looked at it.
Commissioners, any questions that you have regarding this change? So
Madam Chair? Oh, go ahead.
just one question. The map that you have up on the screen is that map 6.1 or number 6.1?
That is map 6.2 in your packet.
That's what's on the screen. Madam Chair?
Cloud?
Thank you. You may recall from the meeting, the Chairman Reyes had another comment that was a little bit interesting. He does not like the name of the map. And so with that in mind, I would move that we rename that map. I assume that's within our purview.
The other piece is that when it goes to the board, it will just become the recommended map as well,
It will not have that name attached to it.
just for the record. It'll obviously remain in the record, but it'll just become the commission's recommended map. Yes.
Okay. I was going to move to call it the bipartisan map, but
You can certainly do that.
we can do that. Is it? What do you think, Chair?
I know. I think right now
It's not going to go forward with a name. It doesn't matter, right? Okay.
any other questions?
Assuming that's the one we approve.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Blitz?
I move that we recommend to the Board of Supervisors map number 6.2.
Second.
Any discussion? So earlier, there was a question of whether the representatives from the Somerton area are in agreement with this map and how it affects the population. The changes are good or bad for Somerton. If you would like to respond to that question?
Just, I would say I agree with that 6.2, the bipartisan, if you want to call it that, because it does encompass the elementary schools within the district.
Neighborhoods
Yeah.
in the elementary school.
I agree.
Anything else that you would like to know? Comment? Okay, may we please have then, could you repeat your motion,
It was
It was Commissioner Blitz.
Mr. Blitz?
Oh, aye.
No, they want you to repeat your motion.
Oh, my motion? I'm sorry. I move that we recommend to the Yuma County Board of Supervisors district map number 6.2.
I seconded that motion.
May we please have a roll call vote?
Commissioner Blitz,
Aye.
Commissioner Duarte,
Aye.
sorry, I mispronounced that slightly. Commissioner Garcia,
Aye.
Commissioner Gill, oh, absent, excused. Commissioner Hernandez,
Aye.
Commissioner McLeod,
Aye.
Meister. Commissioner Nichols is excused. Commissioner Tucker, Commissioner Walsma, Commissioner Zendejas is, yes, thank you. And Commissioner Quiros is excused. And Commissioner Zermano.
Aye.
Thank you. We have, the motion passed.
Sure, if I might, just one comment. I mean, especially for those of you that were involved 10 years ago, you know, the public engagement in this process is obviously fairly low, but I will say, having done over 400 of these projects now, low public engagement in an area where your community is not low public engagement is a sign that people are satisfied with it. And as your vote just showed, you know, there's general consensus. The changes are pretty straightforward, so it's no surprise that there's not a lot of engagement. Trust me, we could have drawn a map that would have gotten 50 people here, and the
I'm
usual
sure you
hollers
could.
you would have liked to see. So I did just want to take as the talking point as people ask you about why was there so few people here. It's because the change is pretty straightforward, and as you just saw, bipartisan and so don't take the lack of public engagement as a lack of interest or that people weren't watching. They certainly were and would have been here with another map.
Notwithstanding COVID, right? They'd be here.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Item 7.
Anderson, I seek your guidance. So what do we do next?
At this point, Chair Zermano, we would like to address item number 7, which is formal cancellation of the remainder of the scheduled redistricting advisory commission meetings since your group has concluded your work this evening.
We need a motion, and it's unlikely to happen, but what if the supervisors don't approve of the maps?
I would be in contact with the commission if we needed to schedule a future meeting to address any deficiencies the Board of Supervisors may have. I suspect that's not likely given their full support of our presentation last week.
May I have a motion to cancel future scheduled redistricting advisory commission meetings?
So move. Somebody move. Second? I'll shut up.
I have a question. How many more meetings do we have on the schedule?
I believe there was only 2 that we had scheduled publicly on the website. 2 more.
So I'd like to have a roll call.
Commissioner Blitz,
Aye.
Commissioner Duarte,
Aye.
Commissioner Garcia,
Aye.
Commissioner Gill is excused, Commissioner Hernandez,
Aye.
Commissioner McLeod,
Aye.
Commissioner Meister, Commissioner Nichols is excused, Commissioner Tucker, Commissioner Walsma, Commissioner Zendejas, Commissioner Quiros is excused, and Commissioner Zermano, sorry.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion has carried.
That, then this meeting is adjourned.